Hello, everybody. Hello, 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 hello. Thanks, everyone, for hopping on the broadcast today. Let's see. If you're on, please tell me you're on so I can give you a shout out. Make sure we are live. Coming to you 12:20 p.m. It's Thursday. Yay! I am looking to see. There we go. Now I can catch the comments. Hey, buddies. Hey, everybody. Hey, Pat Manicom. David, thank you, brother. How's it going in Waco? I was just driving through there last weekend. Was going to stop and see the stop at those what's that place called where the show that's on HGTV? You ever run into those folks, Joanne, the Gaineses? Hey, Avaroop, thank you for joining, brother. Big golly, glad to have you on. It's a pleasure, brother. How are things going for you today? Way over there. Hi, Oscar. Oscar's out walking Max. Yes, sir. We're going to get started here on keys to developing a growth mindset. I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. If you can hear me well, send me a thumbs up. I don't want to be the only one talking here. I want us to like collaborate about this. I believe the people that are on today have a desire to excel in body, mind, and business. You're here because you just don't want to know about it, but you want to take action. That's what we're talking about, is taking action. I'm going to try to look down at the comments, and oh, it's going great, man, going great. Glad to hear you're doing good. Thank you again for tuning in. Hope you get a lot of value out of this, because the reason I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday is to help you level up your business, your mind, and your body. So we are in this together. So the strategies and the tools and the things that I've learned over the past 4 years that have impacted my life, I want to return it and teach you and help you, because some of you know my story, some of you don't, but there was a time that I was broke, tired, busted, and disgusted, had no direction. I was completely lost, and I said, enough's enough. I got a hold of the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and that book absolutely turned my life around, and I have been an avid reader for the past 4 years. Now I know I've got haters out there. I just want you to know I have not always been perfect. I've not always done it right. But I am so much better today than I was yesterday. And that's what we're talking about, the 1% getting better every day to live an extraordinary life. Because getting rich is a science. I'm reading the book, The Science of Getting Rich. It is a powerful book for anybody who's interested in that. There's a science to this, but to living a fulfilling life, it's an art. And it's not just enough to have money in the bank. We must live a fulfilling life. And there's a big difference in people who are wealthy and aren't living a fulfilling life, those who are wealthy and living a fulfilling life. And that's what I'm after. And that's what I want. And I think that's what you want, because it is higher living and higher learning. Welcome, Gary. Welcome, Caroline. Thank you so much. I want to share with you 3 keys to the growth mindset. This is what started me on the pathway to creating a better life for myself. I don't want to tell the morbid stories, but 4 years ago, I was living pillar to post, renting rooms from people, no money, and now, Oscar and I are enjoying a beautiful life downtown Austin with incredible views behind us. And this didn't come easy, and most people don't know the behind the scenes or what got us here and led us here. But a lot of changes have been made in our mindset, and that's exactly where it begins. Is in the mindset. 1 in 9 Americans are on some form of depression pills today. 60% of people are fat. They're overweight. They're unhappy. But it all can turn around for you, and it begins with mindset. Jeff, thank you for joining. Carrie, thank you for joining today. Glad to know everyone's on. I hope, again, you can receive some value, because that's why I'm here, is to help you level up your business and life. And yeah, I want to get started. I want to talk about 2 mindsets. So last week I talked about a growth mindset, but today I want to just kind of retract a little bit. There's a book I'm reading. Let me fix this. Okay, there we go. There's a book I'm reading called Mindset by Carol Dweck. This is a really phenomenal book. She goes into great detail to explain the 2 different types of mindset that people have today. The growth mindset and then the fixed mindset. People that have a fixed mindset just accept things as they are. They tend to just believe whatever life has handed them is what they're going to have to live with, and they've accepted that. So people with a fixed mindset typically say things like, my intelligence is basic and I can't change very much. Or they say things like, you can learn, or I can learn new things, but I can't really change how intelligent I am. People with a fixed mindset say things like, I'm a certain kind of person and there's not much I can do about that. People with a fixed mindset typically say things like, I can do things differently, but I will always be the person I am, and I will always have the characteristics that I was handed either as a child or as a teenager, and it becomes fixed in their mind, and they feel that like they can never get from point A to point B, that they will always be somewhere in between, struggling in life and just being a settled mindset, a fixed mindset to this is what life gave me and this is what I have to deal with. And so this is the path that I'm going to take. I'm just going to settle. Alcoholics Anonymous talks a lot about the addictive brain. And for the last 8 months, I have been going to Alcoholics Anonymous. One of the main reasons I go nearly every day, is because I wanted to learn. I wanted to understand the addictive mind. I wanted to understand their language and how these people talk and how they interact and what their mindset is. And this is certainly not I'm certainly not bashing Alcoholics Anonymous. I think it's an incredible program. But I've noticed that they always begin their talks by saying, I'm an alcoholic. And it seems like that they teach and preach that, once you're an alcoholic, you're always an alcoholic. And so Carol Dweck talks a lot about that in mindset. And she talks about people who say that they're always going to be a certain way. Yes, they can change certain things in their life, but they will always be that main core. Whether it's, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not fast enough, I'm an introvert, I don't know how to talk to people, I don't know how to do the things that successful people do, and their mind becomes fixed on that, and they are unable to get out of that trap, if you please. But incredibly enough, recent research has proven that we can actually change our brains. We can change what is called what's called neuroplasticity. I recently read another book called The Biology of Desire, Why Addiction is Not a Disease. This is written by a neuroscientist. And this is a startling book. It's an incredible book that really drills down the idea that, what fires together wires together. And as a result, you live this certain pattern and you live this certain way, and you get into a mindset that once you're this, you're always going to be that. And this debunks that whole theory about living a fixed mindset, that you don't have to be that person that maybe everyone says you are, or maybe that you tell yourself you are, but you can rise above a fixed mindset and begin to grow your mind and to expand, if you please. And this has been proven. Extensive research has been done. The biology of desire, he really goes into detail about that. There is literally a revolution of neurogenesis, and this is how the brain renews itself. There was once a time, like before the 1950s, that it was just a general rule of belief that after a certain age, your brain did not grow anymore. It did not expand anymore. So the patterns and the experiences that you had as a child shaped you and molded you, and you would be stuck in that. Whatever was handed you, you'd be stuck with that the rest of your life, whether it be good or bad. Unfortunately, for most people, their early childhood was bad. So that's why, the depression today, depression pills, there's 30% of Americans are on depression pills, some type of mental altering drug, and could be why 60% of Americans are overweight today. It's because of what happened in their childhood, and they feel like this is me, this is the way it's always going to be. But I'm here to tell you that I'm living proof that neurogenesis, neuroplasticity is a real thing. And you can change your mind, but you have to move from a fixed mindset into a growth mindset. Now, this is really powerful stuff. This stuff can literally change your life. It can change the pathway of your life as it did mine. Living from busted, broken, disgusted to living life on my terms. And it is a wonderful way to express yourself, because you really tap into who you are as a person. You really tap into the traits and the attributes that are down deep inside your spirit. This happens when you begin to change your lifestyle and your habits, and you move from fixed to a growing mindset. And we're talking about expansion. We're talking about thinking outside the box, thinking that whatever was handed you does not have to be the rule that governs your life for the rest of your life. So we're talking about growth mindset, your basic qualities. So your basic qualities are things, and this is straight from this book, Mindset by Dweck. Your basic qualities this is a growth mindset. Your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts. Basically states everyone has the capacity to change and grow through application and experience. Man, that's great news. I mean, it's great news to know that people can change. I've heard psychologists say that it's impossible for people to change, but there is scientific proof that through application and through changing habits and patterns, that you can start to rewire your brain and you can start to flourish and become the person that you were meant to be. And so we're talking about a growth mindset, an unearthing of one's truest potential. This is powerful stuff. So let's think about Charles Darwin. It was told that he was an ordinary child, but look how that mindset that he was told, you're an ordinary child, you're not really that intelligent, and he went on to change the trajectory of his life by busting out of that fixed mindset. And well, you know the story of Charles Darwin. And also another example is Ben Hogan. Ben Hogan was very uncoordinated as a child. He had a left foot, so to speak. But Ben Hogan became the greatest golfer of all time. Now I'm talking about changing your mindset from a fixed to a growth, that You don't have to accept the way it's been. You don't have to accept what you've been told or the patterns that are in your life, but you can literally change it, and you can start changing it today. Cindy Sherman was one of the greatest artists of the 21st century. She failed photography, but look what happened. She busted through what was looked like a dead end for her, and now she's an incredible photographer. I was just reading about Helen Keller. Helen Keller, who was deaf and blind. Now, look, her fixed mindset could have been, I cannot do anything productive, because that's what was handed to her. But look what she did. She was deaf and blind, but she was a successful educator and writer. It's absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. In fact, I would encourage you to Google Helen Keller. Go to YouTube and watch a little snippet of her interacting with the lady who supported her and helped her and became her mouthpiece. It is absolutely stunning. It is proof that you can rise above the most adverse obstacles and get to a place of living life on your terms and living your truest potential. Okay, so what is it you want me to repeat, Avaroop? Can you please repeat? Hey, Carlos, welcome to the broadcast today. We're talking about 3 ways to develop a growth mindset. Now, I wanted to retract and go back and kind of set the stage again. And I want to real quickly, I know we're just about out of time, but I'll be back next Tuesday at 12:20. But we are talking about people who have defied the odds, defied what science said couldn't happen up until the 1950s. And now we have this revolution of brain science and what's called neurogenesis, the rewiring of the brain. And this can happen through many channels, but I'm going to come back to you on Tuesday, and I'm going to share with you things that I've personally done to rewire my brain. Yes, the growth mindset. So the growth mindset basically says that the qualities that are inside of you, you begin to cultivate through efforts. So in other words, everyone has the capacity to change. Everyone has the capacity to turn a negative into a positive, and they do that through experience and through application or through action, massive levels of action. So this happens when you learn the keys, and they're there for you. And I'm going to share those with you on the next broadcast because I'm running out of time. But last week we talked about mastering self-talk. We talked about setting goals above your comfort zone. And I also talked about giving yourself praise and giving yourself grace, patting yourself on the back for the small accomplishments that you make every single day. Growth mindset, taking your life from a negative to a positive. Now, I know that we hear a lot about this and a lot of people talk about this, and it's almost like it's lost its oomph, right? Or it's lost its power. It doesn't have the same meaning as it had. But that doesn't mean that the concept and the principle is any less. I'm here to tell you that it is powerful and it is real and it is attainable, and even much more so than when the world said that the brain stopped growing and changing after a certain age. Again, I'm proof that it can happen and your life can level up and you can get to a place. Thank you. I'm glad you agree. Hi, Louisa. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Hey, Kirby. Thank you for joining. All right. So that is today's broadcast. If you've enjoyed this, I would love to hear from you. I'm not the best speaker. I'm not the best talker here, but I have a lot of information that I want to share with you. I want to help people get from living life on someone else's terms to living life on your terms. And it all begins with a growth mindset. So we're going to dig deeper into this next week. I come to you every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:20 p.m. Central Time. I do appreciate everyone who's joined today. If you are getting anything out of this, give me a shout out. Or if you're not getting anything out of this, I'd still love to hear from you, because I do want to get better and I do want to be able to serve you in a better capacity, if that be the case. So the two books that I mentioned today is Mindset by Carol Dweck, and also The Biology of Desire by neuroscientist Marc Lewis. These are incredible, incredible books to start with on the journey of changing your mindset and rewiring your brain. There is so many tools and so many things that I do that I want to share with you, and I'm going to do that next week. So until then, I want to tell you to keep looking up, and please follow me on social media at RobertRG74. I'm on all social platforms, and my goal is to help you level up your life, business, and body through the power of changing your mindset. All right, so that's today's broadcast. I'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.